hot out here, huh?
Trust me, bro.
I'm get a drink of this, man. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah, but yo, fine, it's hot.
Yeah, because you got water in a plastic bottle in the desert. What do you expect, man? Why don't you bring your child my Bhai bottle?
Why?
Bro,
Let me see that.
bro, it keeps the drink cool on the inside, bro.
But the bottle's hot, fam.
Bro, it's hot on the outside, it's cool on the inside, man. Trust me.
Can I get some?
Of course you can, bro. See?
Allahumma lak alham, man. That's nice.
But listen, you know it's Corona season. We can't be sharing bottles like that.
If I ain't gonna do me like that.
But you have to click the link below, get your own, G. Corona season. In fact, I can say to you with absolute conviction and certainty, I'm only in this country for da'wah. I've had many opportunities to leave. Now I'm thinking to myself, it would just be better to leave and just go and focus on my family and myself the rest of my life. The thing is, I don't know, I just don't get fooled by the ocean of people that turn up to the events.
Yeah.
It means nothing to me. The deen is used to get famous now. It's just not easy. And you know what makes it harder? Is that the du'at, they lie to you, man.
If your da'wah isn't based upon knowledge and tawheed, then that's going to lead to that extremism that those same people are trying to fight. Why are you now nurturing this person to be on emotions? That's why the Prophet ﷺ, his da'wah was based on knowledge, calling to Allah, not to emotions, with knowledge.
And I remember it got to a point where I physically couldn't do it anymore.
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'ad, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to another episode of Chai with my Bhai. Now, following on from last week's episode, or shall I say the last hour's episode, because we just recorded it, we're discussing in today's episode the effects or the contrasts between da'wah in a Muslim country and da'wah in a non-Muslim country. This is the second point Imaan wanted to mention. Before I cut him off and moved the discussion to others so that we could converse. So if you want to just carry on from where you left off, because it was your point that you were initially going to mention.
It's his claim, innit?
It was your claim, I know you guys already started the discussion and clearly there were some disagreements. So this should be a juicy one.
So his claim was Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala abdi wa rasulih nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. So his claim is that da'wah is not, sorry, can I take it?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Bro, take the floor.
Sorry. Da'wah is not effective in the West. It's just damage control.
Wait. What do you mean by effective?
Sorry. Actually, no. Yeah, you're right. I have to be specific about this stuff. He said that da'wah in the West is just damage control.
Okay.
And it is, that's it.
Okay.
That's his claim. It's just damage control.
As opposed to what?
As opposed to you're actually changing people's lives. So
you're not changing people's lives in the West.
All
All you're doing is controlling the amount of damage that they do.
And
to themselves
also,
and to others, community.
They're delaying the destruction of the people, basically. So he said
it's inevitable. You're just slowing it down.
Basically, yeah. He said that, for example, someone's gonna commit a sin today. You're just making him not do it now. He's gonna do it 6 months later.
But in a Muslim country, if you told someone to do it, they'll never do it.
No. I don't think that's what anyone.
Claim,
I don't think anyone's saying. I don't think anyone's saying that.
So clarify exactly what you are.
Your specific
saying.
claim. Let's hear it.
You are the mudda'i.
So look,
Firstly,
firstly, you have to understand, I'm not just speaking out of thin air, innit? Like I'm speaking out of, like I've been doing active da'wah with people within communities for a decade now.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, and I've done da'wah here, and I've also traveled abroad to do da'wah. I've traveled around the West. I've even traveled to Muslim countries. Does that make sense? I done da'wah in Pakistan. I haven't done da'wah outside. That's the only Muslim country I've done it in, but I've seen the da'wah and I've been with people who are doing da'wah in other Muslim countries. Does that make sense? So I have quite a good understanding of the contrast.
What about Muslim majority communities? Not necessarily the whole country, but like a city or a specific village that's just full of, for example.
I think it would be good to mention that at the end because that's like a sub-branch kind of thing. Does that make sense? But
no, I was asking in terms of your experience because you were just
I've even experienced that,
I've
experienced. Yeah, I'm coming. Birmingham.
Yeah. Allah, but
so the point is that one primary thing which stands out, is that you see is the environment and the structure of the country. You see, when a person wants to start practicing in a Muslim country, for example, let's just say he comes to a weekly class, let's just say there's a weekly class. Like, let's just say there's a mad thing in a masjid that happens in Dubai, for example, or Pakistan, for example. Yeah. So every week he comes to the masjid, he learns something, right? Now his iman is going to naturally go down during the course of the week. Does that make sense? It's not going to be as high as it was in the masjid.
If that's the only place where he
if that's the only place, right? So let's just say he's here, he comes to the masjid, he learns something, right? Now, naturally, there's going to be a slight dip. Does that make sense? But he won't go back down to where he was. Week to week, between week to week, he might dip, but he won't go back down to where he was.
He won't go lower either.
Say that again?
And he won't go lower.
Yeah, most likely, yeah. It's going to go down a bit. And the next week, he's going to get a little bit more, and it'll go down. And then the third week, he learns something else, go down a bit, but it goes. There's a gradual growth.
He's got net upward trend.
The reason for that is because there's many things that are missing in those countries. For example, it's a lot harder to do sins.
Yes.
Sins, no doubt, you can do them. You want to fornicate, you can. You want to gamble, you can. You want to drink alcohol, you can. But it's harder. You have to go out of your way to do those sins. Does that make sense? It's not natural for you. Not just that, your workplaces. There's a musalla. Your boss won't have an issue if you want to go pray Jum'ah. Does that make sense? Like the
boss will get in trouble if he stops you from getting Jum'ah.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like the people respect you, people appreciate Allah Barak's come to the deen, mashallah, tabarakallah. That's what I'm saying. So the point is that there's a whole sense of encouragement. There's a community, there's a strong community. All of that kind of supports the growth. But you see, when a person here where you're giving dawah to, he's in uni, the whole environment is a trap. You manage to get him to come to the masjid once. He learns something the next day or on his way back home, he's back down to normal. And you would be so blessed with Allah's permission if you can have a situation where the person slightly gradually grows. But more time, what happens is he grows, next week is back down, grows next week. And wallahi, any one of you who's done da'wah and you do da'wah here in the UK and you're all both involved in the da'wah and seen it at the very least. I'm saying you've seen that, bro, the same guy, like there's one particular brother who name I won't mention, and I think you will know exactly who I'm talking about without me even having to give you any description, just by giving you this look. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I mean, there's about 5 brothers that come to my mind.
But he I understand. How many times have we told this one brother about girls? Like the same thing again.
Yeah.
And again. And again. And yes, I got it. But it's just every couple of weeks he just goes, he gets a job somewhere and he goes back down, or this happens or that happens, or it's like, bro.
And please mention that overall he's a practicing brother. He's an overall practicing brother. Yeah. So you can only imagine how it affects the people who are not practicing.
Exactly.
Don't put Islam as a priority.
He prays 5 times a day. Exactly. He comes to the masajid. He listens. But the vices are such where he got a job here. Peak.
Yeah.
There was girls there. There was girls there. There was girls there. Instagram. I'm saying there's a trap everywhere. So you don't get a chance to grow. So that's why I always tell brothers 2 things. And sisters, I've always said, if you want to survive in the UK, I've said this with so much conviction, and I believe it so much certainty, that you will never truly change if you don't start seeking knowledge, number 1. Number 2, you don't change your environment. Now, sometimes your environment is not simple as just changing your friends, but you have to leave the area. Yeah. The area is a trap. Man, how many times have we seen brothers that left the road life, they got good friends, still catch a case. Wrong place, wrong time.
But you actually took that brother to Dubai, didn't you?
No.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you
Wait,
did.
which one?
The other one, yeah.
The other one.
I took another. I've taken a few people. Some,
No, but that's not the same brother we're talking about. So
I know he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Oh, I thought you thought I was talking about. No.
Yeah. Names getting dropped.
But big guys came to my mind.
Yeah, but the
fact that brothers who were on Dean close, for example.
It's sad, bro. You're gonna make me emotional in this podcast. Like the thing is, bro. I know that there are people that are gonna comment and they're gonna say, "But brother, your da'wah has, with Allah's permission, changed my life," and this, that, and the other. Reality of the matter is that I'll look at it from 2 ways. Number 1, I hope that you remain steadfast.
Yeah, sure.
Steadfast is one thing. Does that make sense? To be steadfast is one thing. So alhamdulillah, you're guided now, and I really pray that your guidance continues. But the second thing is that you're a rarity. The reality of the matter is that when I look back, alhamdulillah, we've had some epic stories. I feel like we've had epic moments. I don't really feel like we made an impact.
Okay, so all that claim, all this. Sorry.
So what is your claim? So your claim is
You can't really.
you can't make a lasting, substantial.
Yeah.
Can I
impact on
give an
people's lives.
analogy? Can I give an analogy? So
what I'm saying is,
you're saying it's like this, yeah? People in the UK or people in the West. Oh wait, are you saying UK or are you saying the West?
The West.
Okay, people in the West, they're perpetually in debt, always minus. Whereas in Muslim countries, they're at zero. When they want to start practicing, they're just at zero.
They might
and
even
they can
be
just
in
go
minus.
up.
No,
they can
might
just go up.
They might even be in minus, but then there's the volatility is not there. Do you understand?
So it's not gonna go mad.
So you're trying to fill a hole, but there's 5 shovels that are emptying it out
Yeah.
while you're filling it.
It's like
Yes,
the
that's
poet
actually very
said,
good
But I
analogy.
don't remember the poetry. He said, if every time I'm trying to build a building, but you keep taking the bricks from underneath me, when this building reach completion? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, I feel like that, man. For
I think another important thing is.
do you disagree, Yasin?
Nah, I don't disagree with anything you said so far. So,
Why are you
because
beefing?
That's what he's talking about damage control, as in the
Nah, but
Dawah
he-
efforts are only to prevent the inevitable.
that's what you said. No,
Okay.
he didn't say that.
Okay.
No,
You
but
said that.
Okay, but that's my point. So then,
Yeah.
obviously, in line with what, if you've agreed with what I've said, that's what I'm saying. So the guy's gonna come back to the message for a few weeks. Okay, he's not gonna commit zina today, but
No, again, I don't. That's
So what's
there's some people who are going to do
What's
that.
the point being derived from your claim? Is your point that we shouldn't give da'wah in the West? We should go and focus our da'wah in places in Muslim countries? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
I think we should just.
But what I'm saying
Before
is
we
that,
get to his point, let's get to what he's saying.
But I want to understand from what you're saying. What's the natija? What's the
Result.
What are you trying to take out from that? Then I can understand. Okay, cool. That's where you're coming
for
from.
me personally, what I'm
So are you saying that you like, for example, you want to become a train
That was
driver? Like,
useless.
you don't want to be a da'i anymore.
so
You don't
No,
want to
no,
do
there's-
offline da'wah. Like,
I'm assuming there's-
what do you want to?
So the primary
Where's this going?
The primary reason why I'm in the UK is for da'wah.
Yes.
In fact,
Right.
I can say to you with absolute conviction and certainty, I'm only in this country for da'wah.
Right.
I've had many opportunities to leave, and I could even leave now. I'm only here for da'wah. I'm
Right.
only here to give da'wah to the people,
Yes.
right? But
You're
now,
questioning whether or not you should stay.
now
No.
I'm thinking to myself, it would just be better to leave and just go and focus on my family and myself for the rest of my life.
Oh, okay.
Like it also I
Or would
thought,
you still continue with the online da'wah? As you're saying, it's just the offline aspect of being in the UK.
I'm not saying I'm just talking about a feeling. I may not do this.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get talked out of it. The point of the matter
just
is
be
that
honest, bro. Just be transparent with us.
Yeah,
tell
I'm
us,
being
tell us
honest.
what you think.
right now, it's like I had a conversation with Yasin the other day, innit? I think it was you. I was like, I'm actually getting to a point where before I used to love da'wah more than seeking knowledge.
He was in the group.
Yeah, and then I started to love da'wah and seeking knowledge the same. It's like a constant battle, And then when you love studying more than da'wah, you spend more time studying than giving da'wah. But then sometimes you're more in the da'wah and helping the people, and then studying kind of takes a hit. But now I actually got to a point where
You're choosing a path now.
I genuinely love studying more.
Then you love da'wah.
I think that's very dangerous as well.
What
Have
is?
someone to love da'wah more than knowledge. To love da'wah more than seeking knowledge. I think that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
It's a product of the
Causes-
previous, isn't it?
Yeah,
You have
because you have to have
one.
knowledge to do
exactly.
da'wah, innit?
Yeah.
I think that's very dangerous. But yeah, you will have.
It's
that
like a guy who
conversation,
loves the
and
result, but
alhamdulillah,
not
I'm so
the
happy about
process.
that. But the point,
Yeah.
someone who likes the result without the
not
process.
yeah.
But the point that he was making, like your da'wah is just damage control. So what did you say before?
As in, so from the let's use the example of weekly classes. As in, if you there's a basic limit that you're gonna have to put in order to help to change these people's lives, like as in reorient their priorities, turn them away from the dunya, which is basically being thrown at them left, right, and center in this environment. And if you're not able to put that, I think maybe that's the hadd of what you're trying to say. If you're not able to give in that kind of effort, and basically that kind of effort is impossible. I don't think any single person can do that. If you're not doing that, then it's inevitable that these people are going to be pushed towards fahsha, haram. Like the sins are inevitable. This way of living, this style of living, if you don't purposefully go out of your way to change it, it's not by chance that you're not going to run into them. The likelihood is that you are probably going to run into them. Yeah. And it's look.
I don't think so. No,
I think you have an optimism in
have-
people. I think what you're saying, from basically from what you're just saying, just even though
it's very pessimistic.
No,
No, I'm not saying pessimistic. I'm saying that
you don't disagree with the fact that da'wah would be more successful in a Muslim country than it would in a non-Muslim country, as in terms of impact on people. Yes, hello. There you go.
No, would it be more effective in the Muslim land than a non-Muslim land? Possibly, yeah. But
I think what you're going to say is that that's not what the bearing that the da'i should look at it from, isn't it? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay.
Mashallah. you're
So
very
the question I was gonna ask
Was it
is,
possibly, as a general rule, you don't think that your da'wah would be more successful in a Muslim country to a Muslim majority like audience kind of thing compared to?
I mean, personally, if I was in a Muslim country, I wouldn't be giving that. I'd be receiving it.
Yeah, not really. No,
I'd be
the
going to
people
the scholars.
have different needs in the UK to the needs that are in Muslim lands. So the da'wah that's going to be given here is different to the da'wah they're going to be given over there.
that's
So
true.
you can't really say which one's more successful or not. But what I disagree with is saying that it's inevitable for all these people to have sins, to fall into sin. So therefore, we shouldn't give them da'wah. Or no, sorry,
No,
he didn't say
you're
that. Sorry,
basically
sorry.
No one said we shouldn't give
No,
them
we're not
da'wah.
sorry.
Summary of your
No, sorry, wait,
saying
hold on.
Okay.
is I'm waiting for the day of judgment.
I can't be honest with you.
That's basically
That was
that's the conclusion.
Nah,
You've
I'm
gone back
saying-
to
I'm saying now, to say that, okay, with these people, they're inevitably going to fall into sin.
Yes.
Therefore, the only thing we can do is damage control
Yes.
is wrong. Because there
why?
are people who are going to completely change and leave off that sin.
And then,
But that's what I'm saying,
I'm not
listen,
denying
but
the possibility of that.
he's saying what's the
But let's call
what's
a
the
spade a
majority
spade.
going to be?
Yeah.
I'm
What's
saying
the-
let's call a spade a spade. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm saying those people, you can only make that claim about remember change requires. Remember change is not good. Istiqamah is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like people change, they go on and off.
I'm talking about istiqamah.
But I'm saying, so to see whether that people actually come and have istiqamah, you have to look at it over a long period of time. Istiqamah is steadfastness. You didn't just come in deen for a year, but you've been on deen and you're going to stay on deen, inshallah ta'ala.
Yeah.
I'm saying that you can only make that, you have to look at an entire period of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just because everyone doesn't change and
no,
a
but
lot
doesn't
of
have to
people
be
fall
everyone.
off, it doesn't mean that it's not going to affect them.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people who actually make real change, like, bro, you're going to struggle.
1 in 100.
But no, I think if you
I don't think the numbers is
by the way,
really
you
where
have to understand,
the
I'm
point
not
is.
talking
But
about
I
it from
understand
the
what you're
angle
saying.
of-
So where is the point? 'Cause
No, I'm waiting for everyone to say as well.
So the point here is not about numbers, okay? In
so
the
what's
sense
the
where
point?
it's just about
They're not changing.
the reality of the situation. It's more. I'm talking about more of what is a matter of fact. As in, if you want to live in this country and you want to come on deen in this country, you want to give da'wah in this country, you need to know that you need to know the field in which you're playing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a field where the ball don't spin too tough.
Yeah, that's
Do you understand?
No problem.
It don't spin
yeah,
too
that's fine.
tough.
That's okay,
There's-
calm.
That's my point. Like when I look back here, when I started doing da'wah in and those kids that used to come to my circles, okay, one of them is dead, okay, one of them is doing like 13 years in jail, okay, little innocent kids, yeah, one of them got some kafir girl pregnant, one of them like one of them become the local drug dealer, like, and I think.
By the way, just make sure, just clarify that you're talking about real, actual people. You're not just giving like examples,
I'm talking
you know,
about
like
real
off the
actual
top of your
people,
head. Like,
actually,
yeah,
real-
that's what I'm saying.
The
Yeah.
only one you from all of that, two that changed.
Come on, but
Okay, that at least that I can remember. That I can remember. That actually
Is that not a success?
Say that again?
Is that
No,
not
it is.
success?
No,
It is.
it is
But
a
that's not.
success.
He's
What's
not.
the
But
point
He's
then?
not denying
my
that.
point is,
Yeah.
alhamdulillah, that's a
Okay,
success.
Okay, calm
والله
down now.
لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا خير لك من حمر النعم. If one person is guided, then it is better for you than red camels. But my point is that I feel like when we do da'wah, we're cheating the people by letting them feel that you can, and we're also cheating ourselves if we make them feel that you can actually change in this country as much as it seems. They need to know that you need to get out of the country, basically. innit?
Yeah.
No one's
No, I-
agreeing with that.
So again,
I think
disagreeing
the
with
net
that.
from
That's-
this.
As in,
that's what
okay,
I'm-
so maybe that was
because the reality of the matter is that when you give da'wah here, and I think is you don't disagree with me, but you disagree with me, because the reality of the matter is that, and this is why I said what I said, which was the point of contention, is that when you do give da'wah here, akhi, like the overall majority of your da'wah is going to result in damage control and not real long-lasting
Okay.
change. Do you see? Like, for example, how many kids have you seen that used to come to your circle, bro? They used to come to Matrimsh, used to come to our programs, akhi, yeah? They are now in jail. You just delayed their jail time by a bit. How many of them have got girls pregnant? How many of them are doing zina? Okay, it's just that they didn't do it when they were 21, they did it when they were 23. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
so what's the problem?
So there's actually no
As
disagreement.
in, like,
the
I already
country.
knew that. As in, I like, even
But that's
bringing my
what I'm
boys to
saying.
Umrah. I know most of them, if not all of them, are gonna eventually.
No, but like, I'm saying there was look, no doubt there's improvements. Like even for example, when I spoke to one brother the other day, he was telling people fell off deen. He's like, but they're not as bad as they were, which is true.
Yeah.
That khair is there.
And I feel like it just needs to be triggered.
No, but don't you understand, Habib? It can be triggered, but then what do you do when the whole... Like, for example, Akhi, look, bro, it's such a L. You're trying to get brothers off the road, yeah? Bro, then give them a job, man. But you don't want to give them a job. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can't. Someone might not be able to.
But that's not...
So what do you do in that
so,
situation?
okay, he needs to learn a skill, but then you needs 9 grand. But he needs to pay for the family, and then the debts and everything piles up, and job seekers allowance don't cover it. He's gonna go back selling drugs.
Do you know what I think? You know what it is? I think it's the, you know what the issue is? I think the issue here is expectation. I believe you had a certain expectation which maybe recently got shattered. Therefore, you're thinking,
No, it's not.
because for me, it was
wasn't-
never like I never believed we're gonna change the UK or we're gonna
I
change.
never
the
believed
youth.
we were gonna change the UK either. I never. But the thing is,
Like as in for me,
no. But why do you not want to change the youth? I want to change the youth. I don't.
And of course, there's a difference between what you want and what you expect.
Let me tell you something.
They're two different things.
Let me tell you
I
something.
want to hear what Abbas was about to say because I think he's going to make the actual point.
Okay, but this just to respond to the shubha
Sorry,
that you
sorry.
mentioned here. Yeah, I'm feeling very upset right now because it's just that reality is dawning upon me. But I'll tell you one thing: if Allah gives me tawfiq, I'm telling you now, with the permission of Allah, inshallah, we are going to change the Muslim youth in the UK. No, I believe with certainty. You know why? Because it's not my
So,
hands.
so what's the issue?
But my point is, it's just the sad.
Not going to happen.
It's the pain, the struggle, the sad.
But you just said you're certain it's gonna happen.
Of course it will.
I'm so confused right now.
I have to work on Allah.
But you just said it's
Go
not
on,
gonna
go on,
happen in
Abbas,
the UK.
No,
Nah,
I didn't
Abbas,
say it's not
please.
going to happen. I
You
said
said
I'll wait for
all we
the
can do is
Imaan,
damage
yeah.
control.
right now. I said the reality. That's as in.
A lot of it is damage
A
control.
lot of it is damage control.
I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm not saying
I
all,
didn't disagree
but
with that.
it just takes, like he said in it. It's just you don't know where victory is going to come from. Like the Prophet went to Taif, Allah gave him the jinn. The jinn they accepted Islam.
Do you know how I've seen it this whole time? The way I see it is, you know, like when someone falls off, there's like a certain level which they won't go below. So I feel like every time what we do is we push that level higher. So even if
I'll
they
be
do
honest with
fall
you.
off,
You're
I'll
they
right.
won't
honestly-
go below a certain level.
Based off what you just said and what Yassine said earlier, I think there's an optimism that you have with the people, and I'm saying that this environment doesn't allow for that optimism to be there. There
what do you mean by
isn't
that?
a glass floor. They will continue to go down
he's-
further
I
and
don't
further.
agree with that.
he's got one
I've
point in
seen,
that.
like-
I'll tell you the point that he does have. Yeah, is that I've seen in a lot of those brothers who just slip up. Alhamdulillah, aqidah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
And that aqidah, you know, the aqidah is the foundation. Your tawheed is the foundation.
And it
So
stops you from going below a certain level. Even there's a hadith, right, where the Prophet said,
Yeah, فما كانت لكل عمل شرة ولكل شرة
ولكل شرة
فترة.
فترة.
Every the lowest point. Whoever's lowest point is at my sunnah, then he's guided.
then he's guided. So
But-
by teaching them the
Yeah.
aqidah and you
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
No,
So-
but is that specifically related to Iman?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the point here is that I'm not denying that there's khair. It's just, bro. I'll be honest with you. It's peak, innit?
oh, 100%.
It's very peak.
100%.
It's very peak, man. Like, it's a struggle. Like, you know what it is? One thing that it requires.
And it's so demotivating. You know when you hear stories like that, it's just like I just wasted my time, my money.
But that's the thing,
my
innit?
effort.
Like, you have to. It also tests your sincerity because you have to remind yourself.
So Allah.
Yeah, it's just
Like
it's
Nuh
just
alayhi
part
salam,
and
like,
parcel
bro,
of
he
the
gave
job.
da'wah for 950 years and he saw like no numbers, bro. Practically like hardly any numbers, bro. Like literally droplets.
Some prophets are going to come with
Come
zero.
with zero. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I don't know. I just don't get fooled by the ocean of people that turn up to the events.
Yeah.
It means nothing to me.
Mm.
Like, you know, I have like maybe a couple classes I do where like there's 5 people. Those are the ones that mean the most to me. Where I'm actually teaching, and I know that this person's gonna teach his wife. She's gonna teach her husband. They're gonna teach their kids. You know, that is more for me. Like, as in, I feel like
Make an impact.
yeah, the numbers is just a stunt. Like, the deen is used to get famous now. You know, the deen is used to
We're going
become
to touch on that on the next few episodes.
yeah, you know, to become a social media influencer or whatever have you. It's just not easy. And you know what makes it harder is that the du'at, they lie to you, man. The du'at aren't real. As in, if you're sick, but they don't give you the treatment that you need. You know what I'm saying? They don't really teach you aqeedah and tawheed.
I had a point recently, which is
And they don't encourage hijrah either. They make it seem as
they
if
don't
you can-
encourage hijrah, and people who are encouraging hijrah are extreme and things like that.
Yeah.
But I had a point, subhanAllah, and it really hit me, subhanAllah. It was that a lot of the da'wah that's given today, and that's actually what I wanted to talk about after this topic, if we're actually going to get to this topic. But, because I haven't got to it. But I wanted to talk about is, the da'wah today that's given by a lot of people is based on emotions. And a lot of it is aimed against extremism. Notice that, huh? They're saying we're anti-ISIS, we're anti-this, anti-Al-Qaeda, anti-this, which is good. A lot of it is anti-extreme, but it is based on emotions.
Feel good stuff.
And that is what leads to extremism. What's the argument here? That leads to extremism. Why? Because you're nurturing a Muslim on emotions.
Yeah, that's really.
So his nurture of Islam is emotions. His Islam is emotions.
When you say Islam's emotion, what do you mean?
Stories, reminders,
Heart softeners.
heart
Like,
softness.
you know,
It's just heart softness.
In the background.
Yeah, them ones.
And the guy's
Basically,
sitting there like, oh, I want
he's-
to repent.
he-
Like, it's just-
yeah.
He feels good, he feels emotional.
Feels
But he
emotions.
hasn't got a foundation. He hasn't
Exactly. He hasn't got a Aqidah foundation, he hasn't got knowledge foundation. So his da'wah is based on emotions. So this person's nurturing on Islam. What he perceives as Islam is emotions. So how does that lead to extremism? When he sees pictures of women
Yeah.
dying, when he sees pictures of
Kids.
kids being killed, what does he do? It triggers emotion. And for him,
He's
Islam is
angry and
emotions.
revenge
It's not
and-
based on knowledge. It's based on emotion. So he wants to know that leads to
Wow.
that is what I believe it, and I think that was a deep point that someone
Allah
made.
Akbar.
Like, it leads to extremism. If your da'wah isn't based upon knowledge and tawheed, then that's going to lead to that extremism that those same people are trying to fight. See, we're anti-ISIS, we're anti-this, we're anti-that. Okay, طيب. Why are you now nurturing this person to be on emotions? That's why the Prophet ﷺ, his da'wah was based on knowledge. Allah says in the Quran, قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ. I call to Allah, يعني the knowledge of Allah, على بصيرة, with knowledge. Calling to Allah, not to emotions, with knowledge. That is what now, يعني the da'wah that's being pumped out. That's what the reason why I say that is because as you said, some of the du'at, they're tricking the people, and that's one of the ways they're
It's
tricking
true.
people.
Like, it's a huge trick. It's a huge trick. Like, and one of the ways that manifests on our Umrah trips, like how many times from the moment I'm on the coach in Medina, and then throughout Medina, and at the end of the Umrah training that you do, and on the coach to Mecca, I'm always saying, brothers, don't worry if you don't feel anything. Remember, like, we're not we're not Christians. Like, this is
Some
like,
of you might cry, some of you might not.
yeah,
Everyone
that brothers feel like my heart is hard because I'm not feeling anything. No, you know your Imaan is going up and down if you want to obey him Allah more and you want to disobey him less. It's a very tangible, practical thing. Does that make sense? You may not feel, you may feel. That's not the proof. The proof is, do you want to do more khair? Do you feel like you want to leave behind a sin? You're in Mecca, you're not crying. But do you feel like you don't want to go back to your girlfriend? Yes, but I'm not crying. So, doesn't matter. But you want to dump her now, right? For the sake of Allah, right? Okay, it's working then. But then the thing is, they don't know, they don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? No, well, it's sad, man. And another thing, I think, well, like the people in the da'wah, what it is, they made da'wah into a business, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you know, Knowledge College, there some of the programs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please
there are some
qualify.
There are some
Come on,
tuition
bro.
fees or whatever, but it's not actually like some of these people I've sat with them in it. It's a business, you know what I'm saying? And when we have this conversation all the time. We said, look, Knowledge College is run. Remember we spoke about it. We said it's run as a business, as in legally speaking. It was either a charity or a business, and we couldn't set up as a charity because the charity commission most likely shut it down. So we wanted the freedom, so we had to set up as a business. So then now we can't take donations, but we have to make money in order for it to run and to pay for our costs, right? But then at the same time, it's a da'wah organization. So if any businessman was to look at us, he would say you are running it in an absolutely atrocious way.
And businessmen have told you that, have they?
They've told us that again and again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? Like every time we go to our accountant, may Allah preserve him, he's just mashing me up. And I'm like, Sheikh, sorry, like da'wah.
We're a
not-
hybrid in us.
It's not a traditional
Yeah.
pure business.
Yeah.
Even like when we like in our dealings with like teachers or like people we get on to, like, because it's weird because we have to have that corporate side of it, but then also there's the da'wah side of it. So like, where do we draw the line? Like, it's very
A level of
difficult.
professionalism.
It's
Giving
very
things away
difficult to
for
navigate.
free and this, that, and whatever. But the point I'm making is that, but then actually a lot of da'wah organizations, they just saw it as, yo, this is how we're gonna get rich, bro. This is how I'm gonna get my Medina uni degree and put it to practice, bro.
Oh.
And they did. They burnt people with it, and people come in to these programs weekly or monthly or termly, and they think they're increasing Iman, but they're not. Akhi, imagine you commit zina with a girl that you met at an Islamic event.
That's not.
Do you understand?
I don't meet girls at Islamic events.
Well, not ours, because alhamdulillah, we. You know what I'm saying, but the
Quite tough. Security is quite good.
yeah.
In the house.
It's another thing as well, which really upset me. Yeah, this one thing that really upset me. This one reason I'm feeling the most demotivated. Yeah, is that, you know what da'wah requires like personal time with people on it.
Mm.
Like with da'wah, you have to really.
Just now because of COVID, you haven't been able to.
But
offline.
even put COVID aside, just generally, like I can't. Who was I talking
You have to
about?
spread yourself
I
thin,
talked
innit?
about Adam. Adam Allah Barik, he's new, he's giving da'wah, he's fresh, he's early, he's got the da'wah bug. Allah Barik, yeah? Which we all still do, but it's just that, at the beginning, like, I'll give everything to everyone. Until you have to understand, the more da'wah you give, the more people that are demanding your time exponentially increases until you've got no time left. And then what happens is people start getting upset with you because you can't even help everyone.
You've set an expectation.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he's at that stage where he's able to respond to every message that gets sent to him. He's able to go. He's still got hours in the night
Allahumma barik,
to
man.
spare for people. Does that make sense? So I was trying to say to him, I was like, bro, like I gave the better part of the last decade just to spending time with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the reality of the matter is that I'm one guy. This is a communal effort. We all need to. And the reality is that there's brothers who give da'wah that just like they just want to enjoy the certain elements of it, which is the event. And whether that be the speaker, whether that be the volunteer, whether it be the admin, but they just want to enjoy the actual
The perks without the cons.
no, not the perks, but just the occasion. But it's aftercare.
It's a vibe kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
It's a motive.
It's a motive. But like the real da'wah is done like at night. Go check up on him, call him, let me take you out. Go check. You know what I'm saying? And Allah Barik, that's something that Yasin does a lot, Allah Barik. So it's just not enough that do it. And I remember it got to a point where I physically couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And not enough people don't want to help. Obviously, Allah Barik, Abu Bakr, you've done it as well, mashallah. Dawah used to do it quite a bit as well. And it's just like, but we need everyone to do it, man. I remember I used to sit brothers down.
I was going to say, that it's really important for you to mention that because I think the way that people see da'wah is like an online thing. And online, you just see 100,000 views, this many subscribers or whatever. And you think there's a big impact that's happening. But in reality, a view doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
A subscribe doesn't mean anything. In reality, it's your small pocket, your tiny community, like 5, 6, maybe 10 people you can impact. And then those 10 people might have another person, or there's another guy who's doing another 10 people, another guy doing another 10 people. And that way is how a community will eventually end up changing. Because you grow with those people, they grow with you, But these people who watch you online, there's no actual, maybe there might be growth, but there's no way for you to say that there is growth. Do you see what I'm saying?
One thing I'd say though is MSG, I can't lie alone. But even though it's all online, the people there, those man have like, even you see them in the comments, like in almost every single video, they're in the comments and they're responding to each other.
But
like,
do you know why that is?
They built like a little family.
Do you know why that is?
Seeking knowledge.
Number one, they're seeking knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And 4 days a week, they're with each other, like as in 4 days a week.
They become a family, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to just clarify
we should
what
make a link up
MSG
for them,
is, just in case?
We're planning to as soon as the lockdown.
I was going to say, do you
starts.
want to just clarify what MSG is for the people who don't know?
It stands for Muslim Survival Guide. It's just like an online course we have.
1 year program.
No big deal, but if you want to check it out, click the link below.
Starting January next class.
Starting January next.
No, that seems like
No,
a
but honestly,
plug,
Allah,
man.
so Muslim
Offer
Survival
runs out on
Guide
Friday.
and the
But
Umrah.
you see-
I think the Umrah trips and the Muslim Survival Guide are the best things that actually Umrah trip. I don't know Muslim Survival Guide still new,
Maybe,
but the Umrah trip I think is one of the best things that builds that relationship
but that's
between the
thing,
street
actually,
people.
The Umrah trip builds relationship, but where's
The issue is it's 14 days, like
Yeah,
it's
but
12 days.
that's where
no,
it
no,
gets
no. The
to it.
Umrah trip,
Bro, okay,
That's
let
like
me tell
the
you.
initial boost.
Yes, the initial one, it gets to the knowledge. I'm saying now, a lot of my students that come to my
I
class,
believe
that I am
you.
cause to,
I
All
believe
from
you.
normal trips.
yeah, from Umrah trips.
Yeah,
A lot
but
of them,
of course.
not
But
all of them. but a lot
even
of them.
our events and
So
stuff.
what? 2 guys,
2
guys, 3 guys, compared to the 300 that come.
Of course.
No, no,
if
a
we
small
were numbers,
percentage,
We always
yeah.
said that it's going to be a small percentage.
Everything is a
like,
small
but the
percentage.
point
you
is-
know when you know what would be my dream is to see the Umrah project and Knowledge College combined. Meaning like the guys who are Knowledge College come Umrah, the guys who are Umrah join Knowledge College. As in
It's a
study.
community.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, bro. But I'm saying like this, the what you're mentioning about this, that when you're doing da'wah, you need to have a personal relationship with those people. These brothers, when they come in Umrah with us, and then we come back, literally we're calling each other every time. But some of them, I don't know if I could say this. I won't say who, but certain brothers, I got them into universities in my universities, like a number of them.
buddy.
Quite
that's
5
the
of them
thing, Yasin,
actually.
but that's
They
only-
recently
but that's
they come into my
But you
university
know what
now.
it is, Yasin?
What,
Every
the
trip,
Saudi one?
Yeah,
Oh, buddy.
Yasin, you're one person though, right?
yeah.
So every trip you maybe get like 2 or 3 guys like that.
No, I'm saying-
Alhamdulillah,
yeah.
I love them.
But
And
that's
I build a relationship.
but that's what I'm
I have this sincere love for them. Literally, wallahi, like,
I don't know.
honestly, it's the
but-
best thing ever. It's like, wallahi, it's like, I just love them so much.
I'm so
Oh,
demotivated.
I don't know what to say.
Huh?
I'm so upset. Right
Do you know what it is
Why?
that demotivated you?
now. They don't listen. Act.
Or
Like,
time, yeah?
They just don't listen,
You
bro.
got, but still, was like,
They don't
wallahi,
listen,
that
bro.
you
We've
build
got
a
the
relationship.
executive
Nah,
order
but
from
what's
the
the
executive
point when the
order.
relationship's there? Like,
Studio
but what are
manager.
you, my bro, like, please produce.
Oh, they're listening. They're listening. At least if you're doing
But
something
that's
for
what I'm
them.
saying. Like, when you say they're listening, I can tell you about the 2-3 guys. Imaan listens to everything I say. Yeah, it's one guy.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
No,
Guys, we
why don't
really
why,
need to wrap it up.
why don't you conclude by giving advice to the people with the ayah in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. If you just help yourself and your family, and everyone just helps themselves and their family, then maybe we can have some.
But that's
Maybe
the
it won't just be
but that's
damage
the-
control then, innit?
That's the problem, Abbas. Like, the family is not going to help.
What do you mean?
You have to convince the
No,
man of the house
and
to
that's what I'm
help
saying.
the
So maybe the people, the small amount of people who end
The
up
ones who are
watching this,
listening.
they can actually think, okay, wait, actually, maybe I can impact myself. Maybe I can impact my family. And then those people from their family impact themselves and then their family. And, it just extends like that.
No, but I think a big problem with that is that, again, the way that was, sorry about this time.
2 minutes.
Yeah, the way that was going is that people are, a lot of them, their da'wah is not based on knowledge. So you're giving
That's the
someone a
thing.
reminder constantly, but this person doesn't know how to wash himself. He doesn't know about aqeedah. He doesn't know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. He thinks that being Ash'ari is fine. He thinks that it's a normal thing, and it's actually it's become academia for some of them, especially
Yeah.
yesterday I was watching like academic papers by these people. They're giving academic papers, and it's just academia. In my belief, what I think is that Ibn Taymiyyah is this and that, and he actually is a Sufi. What?
What?
Well, I think what? Like, what's this benefit?
I understand what you're saying. To them, it's just nothing.
It's
Yeah.
just knowledge. It's not impacting the life of the
That's-
people. You're
that-
trying to.
That's the point. Well, like,
It's just theory.
It's just
you know what
theoretical.
it is?
It's talking.
We didn't really teach the people. That's what it is. That's what it is.
We've
That's
got,
what
you know, is we can have that,
Dark cloud
but
for
it
this
just needs to
conversation.
be. It needs to be done properly. Where you can, if you're starting classes, imagine starting a little class. Like, imagine I started my class with the Umrah brothers.
But
How many
You know
hou-
why a lot of that was though. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
we
doing
really need to
class
finish
throughout
it.
the
It's
year,
almost
but then
5:30.
you guys would leave, bro.
Yeah, of course I have to leave. I'm going. To
That's my
Saudi.
point, though, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like literally, it got to a point.
Oh wow!
I
now
was-
we come to the
Bayt al
point.
Qasid. The
Oh,
Bayt al
episode
Qasid.
now,
We're here.
finally.
No,
I'm
Yo.
confused. Like, what's
Yeah.
he trying to say?
No, but I'm saying,
He
look,
just misses you, bro.
no,
Sorry, because
because
Imran
now,
misses Yassine.
no,
joking.
now I'm remembering. Yeah, I'm actually remembering now because the summers, everyone's Iman would be high, and they'd be strong,
And winter.
but you and Abu Taymiyyah would leave.
To go and seek knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then-
أنفسكم هنا، ولا نرى، serious.
and then it
But I
was
love
just
the
So
brothers
the fate
though.
of the UK
Bro.
is on your
No,
no,
your
stop.
shoulders.
Not just
No,
that,
no,
not just that,
that's-
even my brother left. So I was literally alone. And then the last year, Abdul Ahad helped me.
Alhamdulillah.
Now, you man
See
are
that
back,
class? Yeah,
but there's no masjids.
yeah, because Corona.
I'm not blaming you, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just.
But let's
Guys,
start the
we
had now.
really
His
need
class.
to finish off, yeah?
The brothers that are going there. Imagine Ustad Abdul Ahad has got a class in West London. Another brother got one in East London. One got in North London. One got in South. You're changing whole communities like
Yeah,
that.
that's what we're trying to
Right,
do.
but
That's
People
what
are
we're
not
trying
doing
to do.
da'wah like that. People are think that da'wah is by going to speaker's corner and making videos online and doing that kind of stuff, which is beneficial
Build
sometimes.
your community.
But you're not building a community. You're just getting fame. You're just building your ego. Well, a lot of them is just ego and fame and money. That's what it is. But you have to build your family.
Sounds like there needs to be a concerted effort. You guys need to come together.
Family.
make
Last
come
time we
up
tried
with a
to do
plan.
that,
I don't get why we ended.
because we need to. He needs to go.
No, it's good. I don't need to go.
The studio manager told us we have to wrap up.
I like the conversations where we're discussing a real life problem that one of us is facing. So I'll be honest. I like this. Alex. You're right, but we have to go back to the knowledge. But the thing is that it's peak. Like, الفاقد الشيء لا يؤتي.
But also, yeah, definitely. If you're changing a small community of people, like, imagine one person you're changing, he's changing his friend and maybe his family as well.
You know what? I feel like I wasn't able to change a community or have like a community effect.
Mm.
Was because I always stretched too thin.
Stretch too thin.
As in
He
you tried to
spreaded
cover
himself too far.
Yeah.
Like I'm like you're in
West.
North. You know what I'm saying I had stayed in
Hold your
West.
masjid, yeah.
Me, I never
What you say that? But Dar Salam, you kind of Dar Salam or acting.
Yeah.
Chill.
No, it's true.
You know, the only ones I did was there's some sisters who I kept. The only thing I've had is I've consistently had a class of sisters that I've been teaching for like 4 years, 5 years. Wow,
What
yeah,
about the fruits?
yeah, they developed.
Yeah, like they help you with
Oh,
your
you're feeling
business.
optimistic again, yeah? Some light has come back into your da'wah.
I'm back. They
Allah
and
barik.
I'll be honest, and I have no chance to say that is my best data project. But the
Well
thing
done.
is, the people won't let me do it for others. They're
Huh?
always
What?
steal my time, take my time away.
Oh.
Okay, if everyone, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Look at the results of other people. How, for example, you have Sheikh Ibn Baz. You have those kind of people. He's holding on to a masjid, and he's giving out students. Imagine him Or Ibn Uthaymin, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymin actually is an amazing example. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymin just sat in his masjid in Erneza and he was teaching for 30, 40 years, from the age of 20 something, 28, 29, 30 to the age of 70. How long? That's 50 years teaching in the masjid. Look at the students that he's produced. These students that he's produced, they teach people like Sheikh Khalid al-Mushayqih, Sheikh Sami al-Suqair. These ulama are coming out and they're teaching in the Haram of Mecca, Medina. Imagine everyone just takes a little community like that. And from him, you build your community. Imagine North London. Forget about you're in North London. You build that person. For example, you're in Edmonton. You've got a little.
It's like coronavirus. Exponentially, it will spread.
You know, another problem is though. So in order to do that, you need a masjid, right?
Yeah.
But we don't have a local masjid.
So let's fundraise right now, brothers and sisters.
That's the
Let's
thing.
raise a meal and just buy a masjid.
No, but Sarahatan, if I had a masjid, I think that.
One of my dreams, honestly, is just to
you
build
got
a masjid.
now, innit, basically.
No, alhamdulillah, no. I've always had, alhamdulillah, like Sunnah's there. Alhamdulillah, we've got Masjid
Yeah.
Sunnah. If you
I
look,
mean,
look at the effect of Masjid Sunnah.
How much would it cost to buy a masjid?
Here, like, at least a mil, bro.
Yeah, more than a
At
mil.
least a
A
mil.
lot.
Is that an
no,
estimation?
but
Because
I
remember
know-
we've spoken about how much money
Actually, a
a
good
million pounds is,
example.
isn't
A
it?
good example is Masjid
We've spoken
Sunnah in
about that.
Tottenham. Masjid Sunnah in Tottenham. We had back in the days people, what the youth manager.
No, but I can Masjid Sunnah is
Ustad
a good
Abdurrahman.
example. Not to obviously, you know, I got a lot of love for Masjid Sunnah and what it's produced. But look at how many kids used to come to the madrasa. How many of them are in the streets? Now?
No, but it is a good example for
You see my point?
Yeah, of course. No, that's everyone. Everyone.
That's everywhere.
That's
I
everywhere.
know, but
I'm saying now, look at the masjid as a community. How what happened? If you looked at it in 2010, 2011 times, I remember we would go to the masjid. We would see a teacher there. We would see Ustad Rahman. He's doing something there. Ustad Hakim. All of them are there, and it built a community. Now, if you look at those people who were there in 2010, I'm talking about I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about, for example, you had 20, 30 brothers. 20, 30 brothers that were the youth of the masjid.
Jaman.
Look at how many people came out of that masjid as people of seeking knowledge. I think we have 3 people who graduated from Medina University. One of them is doing masters now. 3 of them and 2 of them are still there. We have Ustad Abdurrahman, who used to be there
Ustad
constantly.
used to give lots of time. Ustad Hakim also used to give time.
Exactly.
Your
So look how many
teacher
people
Mal
come
Habib
out
used to
from
give
one
time.
masjid
But that's what
though.
I'm saying, but the people let's say people not giving. That's the thing. There was people that was. I remember Ustad would give his nights
To that masjid.
to not even Dar Salam,
Mm.
even the old Dar Salam.
Mm.
You know, he used to say to us that, you know, I would just spend all night teaching the kids al-waraqat and teach, you know, but who's there to give that time now? It's a problem. Isn't it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the actual what should be done, which is things like that. That's an example for us. The example is that if you're staying inside your masjid, or you're staying not just in the masjid, obviously you're giving da'wah everywhere, but if you're focused on building a community from a masjid, from your masjid, you're going to produce maybe, let's say, 30 people. From those 30 people, okay, let's just say there's 100 people there in the masjid. From those 100 people, 30 of them are going to be practicing. Okay, let's say 1,000 people. 30 of them are going to be practicing. 1,000, then the rest are not.
Okay.
From those 30 people, you're going to have 10 or 5 businessmen that are they're still practicing, they're businessmen, and they're going to be using their money in the way of the da'wah. You're going to have 5 professionals, doctor, lawyer, whatever. You're going to have these kind of things. Well, no,
That sounds mad optimistic.
30 out of 30, bro. Out of 30.
Out of
Out of
1,000.
1,000.
Out of 1,000.
That's
Out of 1,000 people. The masjid, you know the masjid?
3%. 3%.
Yeah, the masjid, they have at least 1,000 people
3%.
coming to the madrasa every they used to at that time at least 1,000 people every week coming to the madrasa, and the majority of the people who came out now. So now, and you have from that masjid itself, you have at least 4, 5, 6 students of knowledge coming out. One of them's teaching people Quran, one of them's teaching people Aqidah, one of them teaching fiqh, one of them teaching Hadith. Imagine from every community you have one hub like that, and from that,
Yeah, that's what's needed.
That's what's needed.
But the problem is, Akhi, that we don't have that
Wallahi, if we
unison
had our own
thinking.
masjid, yeah.
Wallahi, if we had our own masjid, like, you know,
Everyone can have their
can I
masjid.
tell you
Ustad
something?
had
No, he's right because
Abu
look
Taymiyyah's got his own
what,
masjid in
No, that's it. Our own masjid. I'm talking about, because like one of the big issues with masjid is just all the
politics.
and the paradigm that they place.
it's-
I'm saying if we had our own masjid, we could do all of our offline studying the deen, knowledge, Quran, even our recordings like this, set up, sets somewhere in the masjid. You got offices, you got set up a studio inside the masjid. Let brothers come there, put ping pong tables there. Let brothers enjoy themselves. Let kids set up little things for kids as well,
kids
running
as
around,
well.
have a little playground for them, play football, this, that. Wallahi, that would change the whole community, fam.
That would change a whole area. Wallahi, the
Think
way
about it, like
the way
something
Masjid
like knowledge con, studying the deen, they're like you just feel high when you're there.
and imagine you have a masjid and you have 3 lessons a week, or 5 lessons a week,
Just have lessons
of different people,
running.
and you have 5 different halaqat, from each of these, every masjid you're gonna know. From the masjid, you're gonna produce what? You're gonna produce students of knowledge. You're gonna produce religious businessmen. You're gonna produce religious professionals, religious awam, general people, just religious.
When they
They
come
know
for the
the
Friday
deen.
khutbah, when they come for thing.
That's
they
what is
learn,
needed, I
they
think,
spread.
man. That's what's missing in
We have a
digital da'wah
solution.
these days. So, guys, we're gonna build a masjid. It's gonna be
Inshallah.
called.
No, go on. What do you
Masjid,
want to call it?
I don't know, masjid.
What's knowledge
Masjid
college in
Wavy?
Masjid Wavy.
Arabic?
كلية العلم.
كلية العلم.
No, if we had a
No,
masjid,
but that would be a masjid name, innit?
no, if I had a masjid,
What would you call it?
I'll call it
Masjid Imaan.
Masjid Nuh.
No,
Masjid Nuh.
Wallahi, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Wallahi, I knew
It's
you were going to say that.
representative of our situation. yeah.
Why not?
I'll
Masjid
call it
Nuh.
Masjid Nuh.
Masjid Nuh. Safinat Nuh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Da'wah, it
You
needs
know what it is?
that.
Well, I know
Nah, it's not
there are
just-
guys out there who would fund it, man. There's guys
Yeah.
out there, millionaires, who would do, but you just have to show them like the whole thing, innit?
That's so long chasing after them people.
What?
Like, I can't-
Mm.
You know what? I caught what the problem is.
Where is it going?
I'll tell you when I deal with it.
Off screen.
No, I actually clock what my problem is.
Oh,
Oh,
your
okay.
problem. Okay.
Personal.
Obviously, what the
Mm,
problem
okay,
is.
yeah.
I clock what my problem is.
You want to share it with us, or you going to do it first and then tell us afterwards this was the
Can
problem?
you give us an idea?
I sorted it. You don't have to tell us.
Yes,
Can
I
I
don't
help you?
mind. The one who doesn't have can't give in it. That's what it is.
I love it.
That's
Don't
what
worry
it
about
is.
it.
So I have to receive first before I can give.
And on that note, brothers and sisters, see you guys on the next episode of Channel Bhai.
Really, I was enjoying this.
We're doing Chow by lightning session this time. Lightning round.
He's just hungry.
I'm just hungry.
Oh, sorry.
You know
sorry.
what? No. Carry on.
I was
Oh,
enjoying this one. I love
Carry
this
on,
one.
carry on.
We've
Because
had
in my
some-
eyes,
Pop to the other room and come back quickly, yeah?
How
in
many
my head, I'm just reminiscing of all the good times of those brothers.
Like,
So what's next? What would you say is next in this conversation?
The next thing in this conversation was:
What direction would you go to now?
is the UK just damage control? No, it's not.
no, I still believe that.
It change a lot.
You know,
bro.
you know what it is.
At least at this
No,
point
I
in time,
still
I
believe
think it
that.
definitely
you know,
is
you know
damage
something,
control.
yeah. You know something.
That's what it can be.
You know,
maybe
you know,
maybe it won't always
you know,
be.
you know something. What happened? Yeah, is that I don't know if this is gonna make it to the final cut. Yeah, I think we should end the episode. Guys, this right here is a Big Mac. Do you have any idea how much McDonald's spends every year on their advertisement? They spend $450 million. You know why? Because this haram burger is valuable to them. Now, on the flip side, when it comes to promoting a da'wah project, how much do you think da'wah organizations' budget is? And I'm talking about organizations that don't compromise their da'wah. They keep it 100% Quran Sunnah without doing anything dodgy. Our budgets are nowhere near close. Now, the kuffar don't feel shy to put their money behind what they believe in because they value it. But we know for definite that they don't value their burgers and their haram meat more than we value the book of Allah. Then why is it that we become so tight-fisted when it comes to spending money on La ilaha illallah? You see, it's embarrassing that you will struggle to find a house on planet Earth that doesn't know about McDonald's and doesn't know about the Big Mac. Yet, there are houses that don't know about La ilaha illallah. That's an embarrassment. For that reason, brothers and sisters, I'm going to ask you to get involved in an investment that's going to benefit you in your life and the next life. And that is to support our social media da'wah project. You're going to struggle. And this is respectfully a challenge. You'll struggle to find a da'wah organization that's got as much output as us. I mean, look at our productivity and look at our reach. We're the closest thing that you're going to get to a mainstream, uncompromised, fully 100% classical, pure understanding of the deen on social media in the West. If you find someone better than us, if you find someone that's doing it better than us and bigger than us, go support them. It's on you to go support them. But if not, then brothers and sisters, we're doing the job for you. I don't know about you, but I gave my life to this cause. I gave my life to it. Kuffar can put 100% in behind what? Haram food. And we can't do that behind what? the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without any further ado, brothers and sisters, donate at the link below and let's get La ilaha illallah spreading around the world. Peace.